This is Christine Morel, and for years she's been making millions of dollars online, creating these short but funny, simple video ads recorded on her phone. And in this video, you're going to see the recording of a keynote presentation she did at my annual marketing conference called AdCon, where she shows you exactly how anyone can generate millions in revenue for their business using these simple videos and build massive brand awareness and turn that attention into high-paying clients every single day.
I'm so excited to share with you guys something that completely changed my life. Up here it says, how I made $1 million with a toilet and a cell phone. I'm going to show you guys how I've created silly videos online, just having fun. Business is supposed to be fun. We don't have to be serious and stuffy all the time. I'm going to show you how I've built not only businesses for myself, but also businesses for other companies, creating funny ads for even other businesses that are really serious and like kind of boring. Do any of you guys feel like you kind of have a boring business? Like some of you might think, hey, there's no way I can make funny ads. I'm going to show you guys how we can do it today, okay? So this is what I'm going to cover. I'm going to cover the 3 steps to make funny ads for your business, no matter how boring or serious it is. I'm going to show you 6 types of funny videos that sell. You guys are going to be able to leave this presentation and actually be able to make videos for yourself. I'm going to give you the templates for it. And then I'm going to show you how to make people buy your stuff by telling people not to buy your stuff. It's really crazy how it works, but we're going to have a super good time by doing this, okay? So first, let me go back. Here's a little bit about me. I own an agency called Laugh My Ads Off. We make ads for 7, 8, 9, 10-figure companies, everything from software companies to lead generation companies to solar panel companies. We've done ads for Russell Brunson, for ClickFunnels, for Funnel Hacking Live, for a lot of big companies. But I also help small business owners and people that start out also make fun ads for their businesses. But, and here's just like a few pictures actually from some of the presentations that I do. I've spoken at a lot of really cool places all around the world because of what I've kind of figured out how to do with my cell phone. I'm going to show you guys how to do it too. So this is me speaking at Funnel Hacking Live, done a lot of stuff for a lot of software companies, a lot of SaaS companies, a lot of things that you think that are kind of boring. But where I started was definitely not there. So I grew up in government housing in New Mexico. We lived off about $100 a week. I had this big dream of being a musician. My family they're immigrants from Mexico, but I grew up in New Mexico. I was actually joking, I'm like, I hope when I get back to the United States, they're gonna let me back in with everything that's happening right now. Like, we'll cross my fingers. But here's me playing the piano. We couldn't afford like cable. Half the time we couldn't even afford air conditioning. But I remember joking, I always tell everyone, because we didn't have cable, I learned how to play the piano really well, because that's all that we could do, and it actually ended up being a blessing. I lived in my car, I bathed in a gas station, I lived off the dollar menu. Do you guys have like a pound menu here? Like, is there like a McDonald's pound menu? Does that exist? Super Saver? Okay, because we have a dollar menu in the United States where you can buy like a hamburger for $1 or whatever. I lived off of that for most of my life, right? But then after a while, I figured it out. I used to sell my CDs going door to door. I'd make about $100 a day. And then eventually I figured it out and I started traveling the world as a musician. Do any of you guys know Brian McKnight? Any Brian McKnight fans here? Yeah? I was opening here, 1, you like a dream come true. So just want to be with everybody. 3, girl is plain to see. Okay, there we go. All right, it's not a concert. But I was performing there, so it was really cool. And I was making about 6 figures a year, so I had finally figured it out. But then I decided that I wanted to stop performing for a living. I was done with traveling and all that sort of stuff. And a few things happened that made it my only option. So I became pregnant. Me and my son's dad separated when I was 5 months pregnant. I became a single parent and I couldn't perform anymore. COVID hit shortly after and all the shows were canceled. So I decided that I was going to start a coaching business and I was going to teach musicians to do what I had done, promoting online. And then here's a picture of my son, London, when he was born, and I held him with one hand, and I wrote my book with the other hand. And I took a lot of baby steps. I couldn't move fast because sometimes I could only sleep for like 20 minutes a night. I used to joke with everybody, I'm like, he was such a little terrorist. So his name is London. I would call him Osama bin Laden. I was like, you are terrorizing me. And London Hussein. I'm like, you are a crazy child. But in the time, during his nap time, that's when I would work on my business. So sometimes it was only minutes.
Hey, real quick, if you're enjoying this content and you like the idea of being in this room, we have our next AdCon conference coming up here real soon at the end of April. It's happening here in London. We have some incredible speakers. We have some unbelievable plans for you. And the experience in this room is unlike anything you've seen before. So if you want to come and learn what's working right now in 2026 to grow and scale your business and do it surrounded by like-minded people that get you, your mission, and what you're trying to achieve, the details are at the link in the description box. But be quick, AdCon 2026 is happening April the 28th to the 30th, and I hope you can come and join us.
This was the garage that I lived in. So I lived in a garage for months while I was pregnant, trying to figure this out. I just knew that marketing could work. I knew that I wanted to create a business for my laptop. I knew that it was possible. I knew that I could do it. And eventually, after a while, it just got too crazy for me. So I moved to New Mexico in the middle of nowhere, surrounded by farmland. We didn't have Wi-Fi, and we didn't have cell phone service. But I moved with my family because I needed help. Do I have any parents in here that are like, oh, okay, you know, like when you have a new baby, you're like, you're not getting any sleep. You're barely even able to stay alive, right? And so I needed help so that I could work on it. But how do you build a business when you don't even have Wi-Fi? How do you build an online business when you don't even have Wi-Fi? So I was exhausted, I was stressed out, all the things that come with parenting, and I didn't have steady Wi-Fi once again. And this is actually a picture from Google Earth. So all of those pictures of the cows, those are actually dairies. So I was surrounded by absolutely nothing. I always joke with everyone, you know, whenever on a plane, and you're like flying over, and you see like people, you see like maybe there's like 3 houses in the middle of nowhere, and you're like, what kind of weird people live there, right? That was me. I was a weird person living in the middle of nowhere, right? And again, like Elon Musk hadn't launched his satellite internet and all that stuff. We didn't have anything like that. So each day I would wait till my mom got home, and she would bring home her car, because I didn't have a car either. So around 7 o'clock p.m., she would drive home, and I'd take her car, and I would drive into town, and I would find Wi-Fi. And I would create these little videos with my cell phone, and I started posting them. Now, I had started out, I had been building businesses, Shopify stores, all kinds of different stuff for years, and I hadn't gotten one sale, not one single sale. I had learned how to run ads, I was running ads, I was trying so many things, and I couldn't figure out how to do it. So I made these serious videos, and eventually, I finally started getting some sales. I started learning how to do some stuff. And I actually learned how to run YouTube videos from John. How crazy is that? John Penberthy gave me his YouTube ads course many years ago, and that's how I learned how to run YouTube ads, which was so cool. But my creatives, we were getting sales, I was making money, but one day I decided to just be myself, and I decided to be fun. And I looked in my backyard, and I never focused on what I didn't have. I focused on what I did have. And what I had access to was there was a little horse in the background, a book, some oranges, and a lawnmower. And then there was also a toilet, because we had just remodeled my mom's bathroom. And so it was just in the backyard. That's what we do. Mexicans, we just put the stuff in the backyard. I don't know why we do it. Okay? We just do it. Latinos know, right? They're just in their backyard. And so then my brother, and I said, hey, brother, let's make an ad together. Let's make something together. And I made this video on my iPhone 6. And we didn't have any microphones. We didn't have any fancy equipment. But I posted this ad, and it was the first time that I opened my account, and I remember making $1,000 net. Okay, so that's what I put in my pocket in one day. And again, I didn't know, because I'm on the farm, and I had to drive into town to refresh and see if I had made any money. But the thing was, again, I started with very, very little. And now because I didn't have Wi-Fi, I had no high ticket. So I had no agency stuff. I had no webinars. I had no challenges. All I had was an ad to a book funnel. That was it. So this wasn't like, oh, I have like this, low ticket stuff, and I'm selling high ticket in the background. I didn't have anything like that. So I had to sell a lot of $19 books. I had to bring in a lot of traffic for me to be able to make this kind of money, right? Is it okay if I play this ad for you guys? You can see my first viral ad. All right, check it out. We got millions of views on this one. Hey, artists and musicians. I know a lot of you guys are at home right now, doing nothing, trying to figure out what to do with your time, not promoting your music, maybe writing plastic courses like this one. Or maybe you've learned how to juggle. Or maybe you've learned a new language. Hay una changa embarazada en el baño. Or a lot of you may have even started your own lawn mowing business, but none of that matters if you're not promoting your music. See, a lot of you guys are like Harry over here. Say hello, Harry.
Howdy, y'all.
Now, how long have you been sitting there, Harry?
25 minutes.
A lot of you guys that are watching right now are doing the exact same thing that Harry's doing.
Ain't that the truth, Christine Morel?
You can call me Christine.
All right, Christine Morel.
Now, instead of wasting time doing stuff like this, you could have already submitted your music to 4,592 blogs and magazines and Spotify playlists that all play music and publish music from independent artists like yourself. And in fact, I put together a list of 4,592 of them. And if you get just one of these blogs to publish your music, you'll potentially reach hundreds to thousands of listeners overnight. So if you're an artist that wants to get your music out there, don't be like Harry.
Hey!
Check the description, click on the link, and let's get your music out there. Thanks. Now, if you notice, I didn't have any microphones. I'm here going, if you want to get the blah, this is what you're going to do. Like, I did a lot of my ads like that. I'd be walking somewhere, and I'd be like, I know you can barely hear me, but this is what we're going to do. Like, everything about it was not perfect at all, but I launched it anyway. A lot of you guys have something really awesome that people could buy, and you've been scared to make video content. This was shot on an iPhone 6. Now that month, I spent $12,000 and I had made more than $40,000, but guys, I want you to understand, I didn't have $12,000. And I remember I had talked to an agency and they said, you need about 10 grand to spend your first month for you to even see if this is gonna work. And I'm like, 10 grand? It's a lot of diapers. Like, there's no way I'm gonna be spending 10 grand. So this is what I did. I spent $60 the first day. And when I spent $60, I made like 100. And then the next day I spent that 100, and then I made 150. And then I spent that 150, and I made 250. I just kept scaling, but by the end of the month, I was spending like 1,000 and making 2,000, or 1,000 making 3,000, depending on the ad, right? So we got all these crazy comments. People were like, this is the best ad I've ever seen. You know, this is, you know, it's been put together so great. One of the most creative ads. It started going viral. People started sharing it. They started tagging their friends and going, Samantha, right? At Samantha. We need this. You know, at Meredith. Isn't this amazing? We started getting all this free marketing because we created something that people wanted to share. Shareable content is how we go viral, right? So funny ads work in all niches. They work for low ticket, high ticket. It works no matter how boring it is. Once again, we've made ads for, you know, 7, 8, 9, 10 figure business. We've made ads for injury attorneys, like the most boring thing you could possibly think of. But it's very normal that when we make a funny ad, we also have a coaching company where we help entrepreneurs make funny ads. So any of our students that have gone through, it's normal for them to double or triple their traffic, which double or triples their sales. Right? Same Dollar Shave Club sold for $1 billion. They had one of the biggest launches, right? And they had 12,000 orders in their first 48 hours. Unilever, who bought them for $1 billion, didn't just buy a razor company. They bought a brand that had a cult following from people that wanted to buy from them over and over again. So that's great. How do we create funny ads, though, Christine? How do we do that? Okay, we get it. We know funny ads sell, but how do we do that? What are my businesses like? Boring. You think about like Geico. Geico's pretty boring, right? Is insurance funny? Like, does anyone go like, yo, Bobby, tell me the story about the time you got car insurance. It's hysterical, right? Nobody does that. It's not funny, right? So I'm going to show you guys how to do it. These are the 3 steps to make any business funny, okay? I call this the WWE method, okay? 3 steps. You guys do you guys do WWE, or is that like a dumb American thing? Yeah, okay. All right, so WWE. W, who's our customer? That's our first one. Second W, what are their pain points? 3, how do we exaggerate their pain points? And I'm going to show you guys how to do this in action. By the way, I asked ChatGPT to turn me into a WWE fighter, and this is what I got. It's like, this is really disappointing. So, video type number 1, beginner versus expert video. Okay, this is where you play 2 characters. You're playing the beginner and you're playing the expert. Your beginner is somebody that's going to ask questions. They're your customer. You're representing your customer's objections and the questions that they have. The expert is you. You're letting them know, I'm going to help you out with this. How many of you guys are coaches and you've ever done a webinar, and when you're getting to the part where you're about to say how much it costs, you start getting all scared? You're like, oh my God, I don't want to say how much it costs. What if they think I'm selling it for too much? What if I'm selling it for too little? Like, what am I going to do here, right? So here's how I did the WWE method, okay? My business, I help entrepreneurs. So who are my customers? Entrepreneurs. What are their pain points? Pitching their prices. How do I exaggerate that pain point? This is how I did it.
So I really want to make more money, but I don't know how to raise my prices. So what is the thing that you're selling cost $1,000? How much do you want to sell it for? $3,000. Okay, so whenever you're talking to a potential client, you get to the part where you say, this is how much my thing costs? Yeah. Instead of saying $1,000, you say $3,000. But that just seems too simple. Okay, so let's try it. And now you can buy my coaching program for $3,000. $3,000. $300. Nope. $30. Now you're just going backwards. I can't do it. You got this. I'm scared. Get a hold of yourself. $3,000. Oh, I did it. Yeah. Who's bad? I'm bad. Who's bad? I'm bad. You're bad. I'm bad. Who's bad? Good. Now let's talk about raising prices for your other services.
Thank you. Our customers are going to go, oh, wow, they get me. They get my pain points. Who was talking about it yesterday? They were talking about making a pain hook, or I forgot what they said. That's all we're doing here. We're still focusing on the pain of our customer. Okay, here's another ad. Okay, this is what I thought my customer's life was going to be like. So let's say you're a tax consultant. Hey, what I thought filing my own taxes was going to be like versus what it's really like. What I thought losing weight was going to be like versus what it's really like. What I thought being married was going to be like versus what it's really like. In this one, I did this for my company, right? So I decided to reach out to mompreneurs. Do I have mompreneurs here? Moms, we know it's hard to juggle between being an entrepreneur and a mom. So WWE method, who's our customer? Entrepreneurs. What are their pain points? Or mompreneurs. What are their pain points? Managing a business while also being a mom. How do we exaggerate those things? Well, in this ad, we don't even have to say anything. There's no dialogue. Check this out. So fun. It's so simple, right? We know our customers. I'll move through this one really quick so I can make sure we do the time. This next one, characters, concepts, and parodies. Anybody here have any like cool accents or anything like that? Or you have like accents? Like I've been working on my Jersey accent, so that's what I've been doing a lot. So I practice my accents, and then I play these characters inside of my ads whenever I feel like doing certain characters, right? And so when I spoke at Funnel Hacking Live for the first time, I decided that I was going to make an ad to promote my agency. Now, I do a Russian accent. And before I got on stage, the lawyers called me and they said, hey, Christine, we're going to have to censor like quite a bit of your presentation. So I actually, because of that, I kind of do a censored presentation, usually even here. So they had let me know that they were like, it's a little too much. But I came here and I didn't even ask John, but were you guys sensitive, and are you guys going to get offended? No? Can I play for you guys the ad that I created for Funnel Hacking Live that they wouldn't let me play? Awesome. Now, as you're watching this, I want you to think about all the characters that you could create. Whether you could buy, I like to go on Amazon, I like to buy outfits, I like to buy different things, and I like to use my skills and any talents that I have. But then also, I want you to pay attention that the characters in this, I had them all represent pain points of entrepreneurs, people that are making boring ads, people that are making still images, people that are only doing organic. So pay attention, because I'm still putting all of the elements of a video that sells into this video, okay? All right, so this is the banned ClickFunnels ad.
The profits in our business have been rapidly declining, so I've decided to bring in an ads expert.
Hello, my name is Ivana, but you can call me Ads Dominatrix.
She's unconventional with her methods, but I believe in what she's going to do for our company.
How do you not know your cost to acquire a customer? Are you stupid or something?
Ad Dominatrix, I tell you, it's been so tough since the new iOS update.
There are no excuses. Now I punish you. Oh!
She creates and runs ads for companies very successfully. She even uses really creative domains to promote her services.
Oh, you want to know what kind of domains I use to promote my ads agency? KissMyAds.com. I'll open a can of whoopads.com. What do you mean you don't use video ads?
I just been using images, Ads Dominatrix.
Don't you know video ads perform up to 50% better? Let this be a warning to you all. KickYourAds.com. I'm going to bust a cap in your ads.com. And you, have you even been doing paid traffic?
I've only done organic, Ads Dominatrix.
Oh, poor little marketer, little baby only does organic. Shut up, how do you expect to scale? Bounce.ads.com, smack.ads.com. I like big ads and I cannot lie. .com. This has got to be the most boring ad I have ever seen!
I'm sorry, Ads Dominatrix. What's my safe word? What's my safe word?
No safe word for you!
No! You know, she really knows her stuff. Around the whole office, she got everybody really motivated to make better ads.
You are now entering Ads Bootcamp. First, you have to stay focused at all costs. You have to catch their attention within the first few seconds, and you cannot be worried about what people think. You have to get started, and under no circumstances must you forget to click the link below if you want us to make ads for you that don't suck.
And what did we learn today? Shut up! I should have 10x'd your punishment. Hashtag Grant Cardone.
You know, that was actually really inspiring.
Yeah, I actually learned something.
Wait, where's Barry?
Now I'm going to shove this up your ads.com. What did you think I was going to say, you dirty marketer?
You have so much fun with it. There's so much that you can do with your video content. And it's crazy because it converts higher. Like, that's what's so great, is you can actually make more money having more fun in your business. Another type that works, before and afters. How many of you guys have testimonials from your customers, right? So I posted a video and I had this woman, and she's like, I had my first $100,000 launch because of Christine. And then someone else was like, oh my gosh, I finally got, I'm getting booked calls for like $2.50, like all these real testimonials, and I was running it. And then I ran a different ad where it was just me and me wearing a mustache. And I said, check out Pedro. This was Pedro before he worked with us. And I'm like, hello, I have no money. And then I'm like, this is Pedro after working with us. I have lots of money. Which ad do you think performed better? The real one with the real statistics and the real results? Or the dumb one with me as Pedro? Pedro dramatically outperformed the real one. Because we're just trying to get people to click. We're trying to get people, what happens, our brain starts giving up all this dopamine and all these things because when we're starting to laugh at someone, it puts all our guards down. Everybody's looking at us on the internet and they're going, I don't trust them, they're a scammer. But when we make them laugh, they're like, if Pedro's making money, I'm gonna call that guy. It doesn't even make any sense, but it's how our brains are working. Okay, some of you guys have traumatic stuff. Anybody work with people that have lost someone or something real? Okay, there we go. There's a lot of people that go, but Christine, I can't do it. I work with people that have, have gone through real trauma. Well, yeah, you can, and in fact, you should absolutely do this. But there's do's and don'ts, okay? The don'ts are you don't make fun of the trauma. You're not like there's nothing funny about being like, remember that time your dad beat you up when you were 5? Right, you can't do that. Are you guys laughing? You guys are going to hell. Okay, we don't do that. What we do is we don't make fun of the trauma. We make up of the stuff around us. I'm just going to show you guys one quick thing, okay? We're going to do our WWE method. Who's our customers? Trauma patients. What are their pain points? Painful healing, right? The healing process, not the actual trauma. How do we exaggerate the healing process? Well, have any of you guys ever been depressed? Your boyfriend broke up with you, or you lost someone, you went to the club and you tried to have a good time, and there's the music's playing, and you're like crying, taking shots. Here, we're going to exaggerate trying to go through that. This is just a really cool example that I had found recently on the internet. I thought it was hilarious. How fun is that? And then you could just add at the end, you add your pitch. You put, hey, if you want to actually learn how to really heal in a really good process and not try to drink all of your trauma away, hit me up at whatever.com, right? Are you guys seeing this? Is this starting to make sense now, how any business can be funny? All right, I'm going to keep moving through these really fast. So throughout history, advertisements have used pain points to sell products and services to people. I wanted to share a few funny ones that I thought are hilarious from back in the day. Girls who don't read are skanks. If I would have read this back in the day, I would have been like, well, I guess I'm going to go to the library then, because I don't want to be a skank, right? There's this one, coffee. If your husband ever finds out you don't have fresh coffee, he's going to beat your ass. Like, what? Can you guys imagine Starbucks? The caramel macchiato, so you don't get beat tonight. Like, what? Okay. Here's the next one, deodorant. There's another woman waiting for every man. Like, if you don't wear this deodorant, your husband's going to leave you and your children on the streets. Like, this is crazy, right? But it worked. We're talking about pain points, right? And beautiful but dumb. It's like, wow, okay? But the pain points work. We just do them ethically now, right? So humor's a fun way to poke at culture or how people are also responding to you. So I have just a couple more to share with you guys. So this is video type number 6. Finding inspiration in your comment section and from your haters, okay? I get a lot of haters. I've gotten death threats. I get all kinds of crazy stuff. But a lot of times what I hear is, I don't trust women in business. And someone posted a comment and they said, I don't trust anything that bleeds for a week and doesn't die. And I was like, that's actually kind of reasonable, right? And then I had someone, they posted, you're completely useless 1 week out of every month. I was like, people are really creative. Then I thought, if that's true, if I really am useless 1 week out of every month, that means funny ads must work, because I've made millions of dollars being useless 1 week out of every month, right? So I thought, this is a really good sales pitch. So then I decided to make a whole campaign called, It's So Easy, Even a Girl Can Do It. So I created this ad for you, and you guys can check it out.
Hi there. My name is Christine Morel, and I'm standing in front of a private jet. So that means that I'm super successful. You said that this isn't my jet, it's Gary's. But whatever. You're an entrepreneur, business owner, author, or coach. Click that link below so you can get my How to Make Funny Ads Even If You're Not Funny mini course. Why funny ads? Because funny ads are better than other types of ads. I've gone viral and earned tens of millions of views for mine and other people's businesses. It's so easy, anybody can do it. I mean, I did it, and I'm a girl.
And for all you numbnuts that want a guarantee, here it is. If you take my course and implement just one thing that I teach you, I guarantee you it'll be better than all that other boring crap you've been making.
So click below to learn more, or go to putitinmyads.com. Make funny ads. It's so easy, even a girl can do it.
I didn't let John watch any of these ads before I come over. I'm going to go back there. He's going to be like, you're going to AdCon jail. Like, you are not allowed. You are banned, Christine. Okay, so last one. How do we get people to buy our stuff? By telling people not to buy our stuff. How do we do that? That's kind of weird, right? So I've done a number of ads for Russell Brunson and ClickFunnels and Funnel Hacking Live. And this is me. I've spoken at a few of his events. I created something called the Anti-testimonial ad. This one's really fun, okay? This was one of our best performing ads that we ever did, and this is how we basically warn people not to buy our stuff. When we delivered the ad to ClickFunnels, we doubled all of their traffic. All of their ads, our one ad doubled all of their traffic. 2 times more shares on social media, 6 times more comments on social. Remember, when we create shareable media that people want to share, we get free traffic. Right? We spent a little bit, but we're getting like 3 times our money. So here's how it works. You complain about having the things that your ideal customers actually want, okay? And we're going to exaggerate what it's like having those things. So let's say you're a dating expert, right? You could have someone and say, oh my gosh, don't work with Mary. Ever since I worked with Mary as a dating coach, I can't even go to the grocery store without women throwing themselves at me. Like, I'm not a piece of meat. You know, I can't even go down the grocery line. Women are throwing themselves on my car. You're exaggerating about all the things that are happening because of all the results that you're getting. And it just pulls people's guards down. So we're going to do our WWE method, right? Who's our customers? Well, Funnel Hacking Live's customers are entrepreneurs. What desires do entrepreneurs have? Well, they want to be able to have more time, make more money, financial stability for their children, freedom to work for their laptop, all the good stuff, right? So I created the anti-testimonial ad. I'm going to show you guys how to do it, how I did it, using the WWE method. And just notice, all I'm doing is just complaining about having the things that I actually want.
Listen, if you're thinking about watching Funnel Hacking Live, don't.
I mean, there I was, a single mom trying to figure out how I was going to provide for my newborn. And then Russell Brunson comes along and is like, you can start an online business and be successful. Nonsense. And yeah, at Funnel Hacking Live, I have learned how to run my business even though I virtually have no time. But now that my business practically runs itself, I have too much time to spend with my kid. Do you know how many times a person can play Super Mario Brothers without losing their mind? I do. And it's not pretty. And because of Funnel Hacking Live, don't even get me started on my phone. It's like a 24/7 torture device, constantly buzzing with notifications of purchases from my funnel. I can't even sleep anymore. Constantly buzzing with people asking to work with me. I've had to learn how to say no in like 12 different languages. Do you want to know another thing that I hate about Funnel Hacking Live? It's had an effect on my son, too. He's growing up thinking that success and financial stability are normal. How am I supposed to teach him about struggle and hardships now? Now let me warn you one last time about this Funnel Hacking Live. Don't do it.
I mean, you don't want to watch a conference where you're going to learn about how to successfully launch an online business.
And you want to know what the worst part is? You end up being part of a community and making friends with all these other successful, amazing, optimistic people that all share the same dreams. I mean, who would want that?
So if you're thinking about watching Funnel Hacking Live, where I'll unfortunately be speaking,
Don't do it. I mean, I keep getting sunburned because I can work by the pool and actually earn a living from my laptop. It's terrible.
but if you insist on watching and learning valuable skills that can take care of you and your family for the rest of your life, just remember, I warned you.
Look, Mom, I made a business plan.
That 3-step process, you can make funny ads for any business. We have yet to have a business come to us where we can't make it funny and make it fun. Any of your businesses can be super fun. All right, thank you guys so much for having me today. I want to invite you. I'm doing a workshop next week. I have a free ticket for all of you. If you go to makeadswithai.com, I'm doing a 3-day workshop next week. You guys are welcome to join. Go up there, join. I'm going to be walking you through all of it absolutely free, and I'm going to be writing ads for you on the spot. I'm going to be showing you guys how to do it. I know sometimes people watch it, they're like, I get it, but how can you do it for me, Christine? I'm going to walk you through so many different ways to use AI to actually write your ads for you using my scripts. It's really, really cool. So join at Make Ads with AI. Now, last, I just want to leave you guys with a couple things. I would have never discovered what I was capable of if I had focused on what I didn't have. Remember, I built an online business without being able to be online, without Wi-Fi, right? And I didn't have nice cameras, and I didn't have nice microphones at the time. Whenever I made a few $1 million before I ever even invested into like a microphone, which was crazy. So many of us get stumped by all the things that we think that we need to have. Like, we need to have all these things for us to be successful. But if I had just focused on those things, I would have never launched. And I would have thought, I know some people are like, you got to work 60 hours a week. You got to work 28 hours a day, even though there's only 24 hours. Like you hear all this stuff. But I took baby steps, and I became a millionaire. And guys, we were talking about this backstage, and I was talking about how I barely started making real money maybe 6 years ago. 6 years ago, I was living in a garage. I now have made so much I don't have to work anymore. And this comes from having direction, this comes from having a purpose, and this comes from taking a step and a leap of faith in yourself. And what I want to encourage you guys is, I saw John, he actually posted an opportunity for you guys to join his coaching. One of the best investments that I ever made was joining coaching. It was from learning from somebody that had already made all the mistakes that I didn't have to make. I had spent 20 years of my life struggling. My family struggled. We ate Spam like every night. I don't even know how many. Do you guys even have Spam here? Do you guys have that? We ate so much Spam. I don't even know how much Spam we ate, because that's all that we could afford, right? And now my whole family is set, because I was able to, it's so crazy how fast you can start having results in your business when you have a plan. So I saw how awesome that was, and I just wanted to encourage you guys that it's so important for you to learn from somebody who's done it. And if you guys have an opportunity to learn from someone like John, take a chance on yourself. I met him a few years ago when I was at WebinarCon, and I had just gotten started. I was someone's guest. I wasn't even there as like a real entrepreneur. And he gave me his YouTube course. And I took that YouTube course and I studied it. And after 2 weeks, I launched my first YouTube ads online while I was on that farm. And I was profitable immediately. I was able to make money right away because I learned from somebody who had a plan, who had already done it. So if you feel like somebody, and you feel like you have something here, whether you have something that you want to launch, whether you feel like you know how to do it or not, that's the whole point. If you don't know how to do it, you learn from somebody that has done it. So I just thought that was so cool. I just want to throw that out there. That I would encourage you guys to join in the coaching. I would have never discovered what I was capable of. Focus on what you have. Create some fun videos and get yourself out there. If a single mom living in the middle of nowhere with no Wi-Fi or cell phone service can build and make multiple millions of dollars online with no Wi-Fi, guys, imagine what you could do. Thank you so much for having me here today. Thank you, guys. I really, really appreciate you all. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Thanks so much.